Hi there, and thanks for tuning into this week's Wheel and Anchor newsletter. Well, it keeps getting chillier, so I think it's time to leave town. So in fact, this will be my last episode of your Wheel and Anchor newsletter from here in Toronto. The next time that I'm back will be sometime in the latter part of the winter. I'm off to next to Europe for several meetings and some R&D, as it were, and also to stop at the World Travel Market, which is an annual event. It's the world's largest gathering of travel professionals. A chance for me to meet some of my colleagues and partners from the industry that come in from all over the world. So it's a great place to do a little bit of one-stop shopping, as well as to learn about all of the new tourism opportunities that exist all over the world. So I look forward to reporting back to you there from London week after next. We've had a number of new members join us over the last couple of weeks, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to answer some member questions. So first of all, Susan from London, Ontario asked whether or not we do any tours in North America. Well, Susan, it's certainly something that's been on my mind, particularly tours right here at home. And so we are working on, as part of our late 2020 and 2021 planning, some tours to Eastern Canada, as well as Western Canada, and perhaps even some of the North. So those things are definitely in the works, so stay tuned for that. Then we had Trudy from Couillon, Quebec, who asked about whether or not we take care of all of the arrangements, and if you have to look after your own flights. Well, Trudy, we take care of most of the details for when you're on the ground, at the same time allowing you some freedom to do a little bit of poking around yourself. That's part of what makes our Wheel and Anchor trips a bit unique. And as far as flights, yes, we took the flights out of our programs earlier this year, but we still definitely do all of the flight arrangements for you. You just need to put in a request. We always have the recommended routings for any particular trip, and then of course if you have a particular airline that you like to travel with, or you're coming from a part of Canada and you want to avoid coming through Toronto like so many people do, then of course we will look after that for you. A lot of people have also asked me about group sizes, and of course we like to travel in smaller groups. I mean, who doesn't? And it's very important to me that the experience you have, particularly when you're walking around doing sightseeing with a local guide, is that you're in a small group. In some cases, for example, in our upcoming trip to Egypt and the Middle East this coming January, we actually have a group of 35 people going. But as a result, we because that would be otherwise too large for the type of things that I like to do, so we've actually split it into two. So we have two hosts, two guides, in some cases two vehicles to bring us from point to point. So you get the benefit of meeting a lot of other Canadian travelers who are part of Wheel and Anchor, but at the same time, it's very important to me that you have that experience inside of a smaller group to be able to walk around and see the sights. In some cases, we have a group of less than 10 that's joining us to Havana next month. In other cases, we might look at chartering a small vessel, so you could have 40 or 50 people. But again, it's about the experience when you're actually with your guide, sightseeing around. That's what makes a difference, and that's where we're really focused on a smaller group type experience. Finally, I've had a great number of people who've asked me what's in store for the latter part of next year and beyond. And so we got together as a team, we looked at the feedback we've gotten from all of you on your questionnaires, and we decided to come up with a proposed list of trips that we're going to take through 2021. And I've covered destinations in all parts of the world. There's certainly a lot of Europe in there, but also South America, Africa, Antarctica. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little taste of what some of those trips are all about, a little headliner, so to speak, and we're going to put it into a planner, a little questionnaire to see where would you like to go, because as many of you will know, it's important to me that we get your input, and we don't just put tours out there that sound like they might be great, and if nobody wants to go, then it doesn't come together. So that is going to be our Trip Outlook 2021 survey. We're just putting the final touches on that, so within the next week or two you'll find that in your inbox, and we'd really appreciate it if you take a look at that and give us an idea of where it is that you'd like to go, and as well as your input on the types of things you'd like to see along the way. And again, a lot of the tours that we've done, we have incorporated suggestions from our members in order that we actually have an itinerary that suits what everybody's looking for. So on that note, I say adieu from Toronto, and I look forward to catching up with you again next week when I'll be reporting in from my first stop in Europe. So in the meantime, happy autumn and happy travels.